Hey Libra, welcome back to lovefromaleo. So this video is going to be your January 2020 reading. So happy new year to all of you guys who celebrate the Gregorian version of the new year. So let's just look at your card. So we're starting off with Libra. This is your energy. And by the way, y'all, I have this new deck, so I'm super excited to use it. So hopefully you guys like it. So the focus for Libra this January, we have this Aries energy. So with Aries, it's all about putting a lot of energy into whatever you are interested in, but doing it for you. So everything that you're doing, the motivation should be focused on your passions, which you are driven by. Now let's start with your January. So actions that you're showing, we have the Death card. So maybe you're ghosting a lot of people. I feel like you're moving away from a lot of people. I almost feel like you're ending situations with people. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You're leaving people behind that you feel like drain you. Not emotionally. I feel like it's more about, it's like they just don't fit in your life anymore. Like they don't work out in your life anymore. You've changed. Your priorities have changed. And so the people that have surrounded you, they can't be there anymore. But I feel like you're still having trouble making that jump. Like you're still holding on to certain people and you haven't let them know, yeah, we need to stop communicating. We need to stop being together. We need to stop hanging out. Like you haven't made that step, but I think you know that that's what needs to happen. So that's what you're showing during your January. You're kind of ghosting people. You're slowly but surely fading away from certain people. Right off the bat, I see a Scorpio. So there could be a Scorpio sun, moon, rising, and or Venus that you are moving away from. Now your hidden desires, the reason why you're doing all of this is the Five of Swords. So I think you're just having a lot of like issues with determining how you feel about certain issues or what you think about certain issues when it comes to people in your life. You're just like on this back and forth. And it's like, okay, Libra, are they going to be your friend or not? Are they going to be your lover or not? Are they going to be a part of your life or not? The desires for your overall, like for January, have the Six of Pentacles. So you're trying to focus on what you want to build for the future. And that's why you're starting to question those around you. And I even feel like internally it's making you like have these fights with yourself with the Five of Wands here. So it's like you're constantly battling yourself on like who should stay here, who doesn't, who benefits me. And that's what you keep going back to. But I almost feel like you're guilty about even thinking this way. Like you are so accustomed to just being there for everyone or just being cool with everyone that you're like, you don't even know how to start separating or detaching from people. You're afraid to. Who makes you feel like you cannot think this way? Yeah, a Libra. So it's just you. So you are a person who likes to people please for the most part, or maybe you're just a person who doesn't like conflict and you don't like confrontation, and so maybe you just don't want to tell this person, hey, we don't need to be cool anymore. So let's just see what the advice is for Libra. The Two of Wands has the Aries symbol here. Remember, this is your focus for this month. So this is saying Two of Wands, you got to take charge. You got to stop being scared and just do it. That's what Aries is about, just going out there and charging after it. You see how that Aries is like shooting from fire? Because this is passion, this is life, this is a surge of creativity, this is a burst of flame. You got to go out there and just start it, initiate it. You don't really know how it's going to turn out, so it doesn't really make sense for you to be afraid, Libra. But that's what Aries is about. It's kind of being a little foolish and naive to think that nothing can harm you, but that's the confidence that you need to make something happen. So don't be afraid to dive into that energy this month. All right, so let's look into the past. In the past, we had the King of Swords. So you were being very methodical and logical about the things that were happening in your life, and you're being strategic. So everything that you were doing, it was planned out. Let's see. Four of Wands. So you were planning everything out to be cohesive in your family life. So maybe because it was the holidays, you were just planning everything out so that there's no arguing, there's no people having fights and things whenever family comes together. You are Libra, so I feel like a lot of you are in charge of that, or you made yourself in charge of it during the holidays to kind of have everyone come together, but everything work out so people aren't fighting and stuff. So that's where everything was focused on. It could have involved a Taurus, or maybe just saying that your family life is what you were truly focused on throughout your past month, which was December. You could have been a little stressed out. Let's get a little bit more energy and cards from your past. Yeah, you had to use a lot of patience. during this past month. Because I think there was a lot of stressful moments. I think there was a lot of young people or just people with a lot of energy in your family that you had to work with. And it was probably hard. But it also reminded you why you love your family, because we have the Six of Pentacles right here. I mean, Six of Cups, sorry. Right here. And so I do think that you put an end to any beef that you may have had, or like emotional turmoil that you had with certain people in your family. But I also feel like you put an end to people who you just had enough with. And you were like, you know what, fuck you, I'm done. And so now I think you're starting to look into that in your January. Like, you're looking at it and you're reevaluating who you kicked out of your life or who you still have in your life. And yeah, that's why the Seven of Cups is here. So nothing wrong with that, but just make sure you're keeping the good and throwing out the old and the rotten, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to your future. Now, obviously, free will is a thing. So it's not saying this is determining your future, but this is what's happening based on what the energy is saying right now, as of now, okay? So we have the Four of Pentacles here. So going into your February, which is going to be Aquarius season. So you're going into Aquarius season with a sound mind. I think you're being very practical. You're saving your money. And I think you're quiet. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. You're not speaking to a lot of people. I think you're being very anti, but I think it's for the best. Like, you need this. You need this time to just be on your own. Here you are, Libra. The Libra card showed up right here, the Justice card. So you're just focusing on you in the future. And I think you really need that peace of mind. Now, moving into your February, there will be Aquarius energy, which is a sister sign to you, you being a cardinal air. So there will be a refresher. I kind of feel like you'll be forced to be a part of that air-like energy. So that'll probably be good for you mentally. I think you just need that peace of mind. So what are you saving for? What are you keeping to yourself in February? All right, so we have Seven of Swords, and then we have the Emperor card. So you could be keeping a secret about a male in your life, or you could be keeping a secret of yourself if you are a male, or you could be keeping a secret about an Aries or an associate, because that's what I'm seeing here. So something isn't being said. Maybe you're just trying to hide away from other people. That could be it too. Like, you just don't want to socialize. Yeah, Eight of Swords in reverse. I think you realize you don't have to speak to people. Five of Swords, you don't want to speak to people. Three of Pentacles says that you do want to be cordial with people, but you don't want to be all buddy-buddy. Eight of Wands is here. So I feel like when it comes to people being around you in February, you probably will have a little anxiety with that, especially if they are family members. But I think you'll have the capacity to actually like withstand all of that, because we have the Queen of Cups here. So Queen of Cups is saying, like, you are in charge of your emotions. You understand how people work emotionally, and you can make it work. Four of Wands says that there's going to be happiness in your home life during your February. But in order for that to happen, you cannot be too quiet. You got to, what's the word? You got to socialize. When the Hermit card is in reverse, it's saying don't just keep being a recluse. You got to get out there and talk to people. And socialize. And then also the World card is here. So once you do that, you'll be ending some type of cycle. I think it has something to do with your finances, and I think you'll figure out, you know, how to either make more money, or you hit some type of jackpot where you made more money. You got a raise or something. And it's going to come fast. I think it'll come with some form of communication, like maybe a text or an email or an alert. But yeah, that's looking real good for that situation. Now, the hidden desires and passions for your February, we have the Knight of Swords. So like I was saying, right here with the Knight of Swords in this other deck, there's a lot of communications happening. You figure out in February what you want to say to certain people that you needed to say it to. So you finally get your mind right and you know what you need to say, which makes perfect sense because it will be Aquarius season, which is fixed communication. So that makes sense. But who are you going to be saying these things to? So who are we going to be finally speaking to in February? Okay, so we have a Capricorn. Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. Queen of Pentacles. So this also goes with kind of this Capricorn energy here for your February. But a lot of your focus needs to be on planning for the future and your future, if that makes sense. So in February, make sure you're paying attention to the things that you're setting up financially. You will have more money coming towards you in February for sure. So maybe that's going to force you to kind of look at what's happening with your money. But just be cognizant of that because the Queen of Pentacles is showing up here. So finances will be a focus in your February, which is always a good thing. With that being said, I think that we have completed this reading for January. So I hope that it gave you some type of light or clarity into what's going to be happening for your January and also your February, but also kind of to help you understand what went on in your past so that you can kind of make sense of everything moving forward. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to the channel and watch other videos. It helps me out when you leave a like, so you might as well do that too. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Libra.